Today I want to talk about 5 ways you can tell you're being manipulated. Hang on. It's amazing to see how we can be manipulated as a society and also in a very individual, personal way as well. A lot of people are talking today about being manipulated by the media, for example. We're hearing a lot right now about that. But I'm going to zoom in on just a very personal issue, how you may be possibly being manipulated in your own personal life. Being manipulated sucks, right? I mean, we all hate it. We realize later, God, they really did a number on me. Who was I when I was with that person? Why did I tolerate that? How could I not see through them? Well, it's easy in hindsight, as they say, to see what was going on. But when you're in it, when you're caught in something especially emotionally driven, it's very hard to see and make the connection of how possibly you're being manipulated. So today I want to talk about 5 signs to say okay, this is probably a good indication that I'm being manipulated here. And this could be something at the workplace with a coworker. This can happen from a family member or friend. This can be from the media. And of course, this could be from your significant other, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife. There's ways to manipulate people. Sometimes people are really good at it. And also for the people who are being manipulated, this video will help you understand why you're allowing that. Because forget the person who's doing the manipulation, right? I mean, there's people who are excellent at that. They're great at that. They do that their whole life. So let's forget about them for a minute because they're going to keep on doing what they do. This is more to look inside yourself and questioning, I'm sensing something here. Why am I not reacting? I feel like I'm being manipulated. We want to make this more of an awareness for you. We want you to be aware, and with these 5 signs, that you may be being manipulated. And when you're being manipulated, oftentimes you have that feeling in your gut, or there's something you don't trust, and you sense something is wrong, but you're not really trusting that. And then sometimes people react by overreacting, which is just playing into the manipulator's hands and then possibly making you feel guilty or small. And now possibly you even risk escalating the manipulation because they know they gotcha. They're making you feel guilty. So it's very insidious and tricky, and that's why you have to really pay attention to it through watching videos like this, for example. You have to realize if you were raised by a manipulative parent, then of course you may be drawn to that. As an adult, you're seeking out a husband or wife who also has a little bit of manipulation in them because that's what's familiar, that's what you're used to. So it's not really a fault of your own per se, you're just repeating what you're used to seeing. And then your gauge or your barometer is all off because you can't really have anything healthy to compare it to because you're raised by your own parents in a manipulative fashion, and now your significant other is doing it. So you can stand up to it, but there's risk there in your mind. Oh my gosh, I may feel guilty for standing up for myself. Or I can't really prove it. It's just a gut feeling I have, but we don't want you to ignore your gut feeling. Or on the flip side, you can say, I'm just going to allow things to unfold as they unfold. I have a lot of empathy for people. I'm just going to let them be. But now that's a trap for you as well because you're the one who's going to pay the price for that. And basically, you're going to pay a price by being mistreated over and over and over again. When people are manipulating, they're often doing it for control or power or to have their influence over a situation or a group of people or an individual person as well. We know for sure they're going to avoid responsibility and probably they're trying to put you on the defensive. They're going to try to make you doubt yourself and they don't want to be confronted. Because when you're confronting them, you're calling them out on their game and they don't like it. So the first sign I'll bring up is they're good at playing the victim. They'll respond to you with, you don't care about me. Why are you treating me like this? In this case, rather than blaming you, they're kind of going around a little bit to gather your sympathy, to garner your empathy. For you to say, oh my gosh, I didn't mean to hurt you right now by saying what I said, even though I have empirical evidence that you were out cheating on me last night. I didn't mean to upset you too much. So anytime somebody is playing the poor me, when you know for a fact that they have lied to you in some form or fashion and now they're not taking responsibility for it, then that's a huge red flag for you. Now, number 2, the flip side of this is blaming you, where they try to turn things around and now blaming you for the situation, even though they're the ones who caused it and created it. Once you feel blamed, if you're not aware of it, that's why you have to be very aware. Now maybe you're getting defensive because, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're blaming me for this, and now I'm acting defensively, which is all part of the game and the control here. They could also say something like, after all I've done for you, all the ways I've helped you, and now you have the nerve to say that I did A, B, C, D, or E. Well, you're wrong, and actually you're the one who caused all this. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have to be out looking at other women. It's much the same way an addict, an alcoholic, anybody with addiction issues blames the product, the substance, for their problem. Well, if it wasn't for the cocaine, this never would have happened. When in fact they're not really ready or willing to look at the underlying issues of why they wanted to numb their feelings and dissociate and run away from life by using cocaine in the first place, right? So the same theory applies to you being guilted by a manipulator. Number 3 is they're really good at ignoring you. They're really good at just brushing you off. Why are you always bugging me with this stuff? I've told you a million times that you're wrong about what you believe about me. They'll go to all kinds of lengths to avoid being confronted and actually having to take responsibility for something. So they're going to just dismiss you right away. When somebody's really good at ignoring or being evasive, the person who's trying to have a conversation with them starts to wonder about, am I bringing this up too much? I mean, am I blurring the facts somehow? And see, the person who has the evidence or knows what's going on begins to doubt themselves because the person that they're confronting is sort of evading and ignoring. So be very aware of this tactic when you confront somebody who's manipulating you. Number 4 is simply denying it. It didn't happen. You're wrong. That's simply not true. I don't care what you say. I'm simply never going to agree that ever took place. And this could be with you holding photos or a video of what they actually did do, but they're still denying it. That is a master manipulator. It's implying on some level that you're making a big deal out of nothing. Like, what is all this ruckus about? If you're getting this in response to something you know is true, they are trying to manipulate you. You need to be very aware of this. If it's a personal relationship, you need to think about getting out of Dodge, because why would you want to be with somebody like that? And if you do want to be with somebody like that, that's something you need to talk to a therapist about. What is it that's drawing me to be with somebody who I know is lying to me and continues to lie to me? Oftentimes when kids are raised by narcissistic parents, and parents, as I mentioned earlier, who have manipulated them in different ways, they begin to think this is normal and they tolerate a lot in their adult life. And number 5 is a lot of fibbing. They just simply can't tell the truth really about anything. This goes from out and out black and white lies all the way down to small insignificant stuff that they're still fibbing about, sort of bending the truth on some level. They just have a hard time being transparent, being who they are. What you see is what you get. Being upfront about things, you can sense it. You can tell that they're always sort of winding their way down some path where there's this veil in front of them. So if you're sensing that, if you're seeing it, your gut is probably right. It's fair for you then to bring that up and say, I sense this about you. Let's talk about it. You'll be able to tell by their reaction if it's true or not what you're picking up on them. If it's not true, they're going to be very willing to sit down with you and hash it out and say, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought this up. I had no idea you were perceiving me this way. Let's talk about this. Let's try to fix it. Let's find ways where we can build trust in our relationship. They're going to be very open to working this out with you, and there's going to be no blame or evading. On the flip side, if you bring it up and they get defensive or mad or gaslight you or twist things or evade you even more or slam the door and walk out of the room, whatever it is, that's your answer. That's your answer that you were right, that you in fact are sensing that they are manipulating and lying to you. So I hope these tips help. Oftentimes, again, it's important to remember that this is learned in childhood. It can stem from having a low self-esteem. We feel like a doormat. We feel like we don't matter too much. We feel like we're at the bottom of the totem pole with things. And so we begin to think we have to tolerate a lot of crap in our life, including being manipulated by people. And I'm hoping this video helps you realize, no, you don't have to tolerate this. Be willing to be honest with yourself and go get some therapeutic help to help yourself understand why you're allowing people to manipulate you, if in fact this has been going on for quite a while and you know what's going on, but you're still staying in these predicaments or situations or with people who are doing this to you. So please leave me some comments below. I'd love to hear any input you have about this. Please subscribe to my mental health YouTube channel if you like these kind of videos. And until next week, this is Brad Shore signing off from Ask a Shrink.